What's up, you guys? Steve here with your stimulus check update and stimulus package update. And in today's video, we have some very opposing opinions about the stimulus. So first, we're going to be hearing from White House Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, who yesterday said more stimulus, fast stimulus, right away, roll it out, and the consequences of too much stimulus, which is inflation down the road, she's saying is not nearly as bad as if we don't get help out to people right now, right away. So we're going to be taking a look at some video footage of what she had to say, but today, we heard from Michael Burry. Now, if that name sounds familiar, it's because that movie, The Big Short, it's based off of him. He's the one that actually predicted the Great Recession, the real estate crisis, and also he had a hand in the GameStop stuff that's recently happened. And now, today, we're hearing him say that the worst of our economic situation has not yet hit. And he's saying inflation is going to be coming. And he's also saying that more stimulus rolling out right now is going to make inflation even worse. And he's got a lot to say. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys what he said as well. So let me know your thoughts. Very opposing opinions on stimulus. One saying roll it out, one saying hold back because inflation is coming. So we're going to dive right in. I'm going to get you guys caught up on the latest. But before we do, if you could do me a quick favor, if you like and appreciate these updates, why don't you take a second to go ahead and smash the like button? I would appreciate it. It helps out the channel. Like button, comments, and sharing these videos out to anybody that you think might be interested. It helps out the channel. Thank you so much. And also, if you're not already part of the viewing community, the Ram fam, and you would like to stay up to date on everything rolling out, take a second to go ahead and smash the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so that way as soon as I upload, you can get notified right away. And if you didn't see, we did the giveaway for the 100,000 subscribers here on the channel. Go ahead and check it out right here where I picked 4 lucky subscribers to collect $250 each. Go ahead and check it out. And also, I just go down memory lane and share some of my old videos on there. And also too, if you haven't already, be sure to follow me on Instagram at SteveRam3. I do my best to respond to as many questions here on YouTube as I can, but there's a lot, so I miss a lot of them. But Instagram is also a great way if you need to get a hold of me to do so. And also, you guys, here on YouTube, now that I have 100,000 subscribers, my comments all have black stripes on the name. So if you get a comment from somebody that looks kind of funny, they're giving you a random phone number or trying to sell you Bitcoin or send you to an assistant, that's not me. There's a lot of scammers on here, imposters trying to pose as me, trying to steal your information. Please do not fall for that. I get people messaging me every day saying they think that I'm reaching out to them and it's not me. So keep an eye out for the black stripe on the name. That's the official, the real Steve Ram. But now, you guys, let's go ahead and dive into the latest regarding the stimulus. I'm going to get you caught up on everything as of today, February the 19th. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and dive right in. So as I mentioned, White House Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, she made this statement, and now we're seeing articles roll out like this. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen makes a push for major stimulus, sees bigger risk and not doing enough. Also, this morning, the U.S. stocks gain after Treasury Secretary Yellen pushes for more stimulus. The article says that U.S. stocks moved higher on Friday, rebounding from a 3-day losing streak after Janet Yellen advocated for more stimulus spending. In a Thursday interview, Yellen said on CNBC that there's a lot of pain in the economy still, evidenced by the recent jobless claims, which exceed economists' expectations. And she says the price of doing too little is much higher than the price of doing something big. So she's talking about that $1.9 trillion stimulus package. So let's take a look at the actual footage of what Janet Yellen had to say. Let's go ahead and dive in.
The exclusive interview. I started by asking her for an update on where the stimulus package stands right now.
Members of Congress are dealing with it. The first steps toward reconciliation have been passed, a budget resolution. So we're hoping to see progress over the next couple of weeks in enacting that package into law. President Biden has had discussions with members of Congress on both sides of the aisle, would ideally like to see a bipartisan support for a package that we think is really what we need to deal with the pandemic and to get beyond it, get our economy back on its feet, and help all the people who've been so badly harmed by the pandemic and the economic havoc it's caused.
One question I think that's still out there is whether we need $1.9 trillion of stimulus. We just had a very strong retail sales report. You've got sectors of the economy like manufacturing and housing that are back to pre-pandemic levels, if not higher. The market at a record high. Is that an economy that screams $2 trillion needed in stimulus?
Well, I think it does. We have an unemployment rate that, if properly measured in some sense, was really close to 10%. In addition to over 9 million people unemployed, we have 4 million who have dropped out of the labor force, another 2 million who have seen reduced hours. So we're digging out of a deep hole. Last year was the worst year for economic growth since World War II. And the Congressional Budget Office projection recently showed it would take until 2024 in their baseline case to get back to full employment without a package like this. So we think it's very important to have a big package that addresses the pain this has caused. 15 million Americans behind on their rent, 24 million adults and 12 million children who don't have enough to eat, small businesses failing. I think the price of doing too little is much higher than the price of doing something big. We think that the benefits will far outweigh the costs in the longer run.
Even if it does cause sustained higher inflation, possible overheating of the economy, we're seeing expectations rise, commodity markets are really heating up.
Well, inflation has been very low for over a decade. And, it's a risk, but it's a risk that the Federal Reserve and others have tools to address. The greater risk is of scarring of people having this pandemic take a permanent, lifelong toll on their lives and livelihoods.
Where are you on stimulus checks, and particularly on some of the concerns and criticisms around them, that they go to people who are earning a paycheck and might not need them, for people who are going to use those stimulus checks to trade stocks? How do you respond to some of those concerns?
Well, President Biden has discussed the checks with Republicans and members of Congress. He wants to make sure that they're appropriately targeted so they go to people in need, not to very high income people who don't need it. But, there's so much pain in this economy. I think these checks really will provide relief, and they'll help jumpstart our economy, giving people money to spend when we can get out again and go back to our former lives. So, there are a lot of families that are operating on the margin, and I think these checks will really help them.
So there you guys have it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, as we heard her say that right now people are hurting from the pandemic and our economic situation. And she said, we just need to get money out fast, and stimulus checks, let's go ahead and make them targeted to help out those in need, not those who are just going to invest it in the stock market. And she's saying the cost of inflation that could come down the road is not nearly as bad as not helping out those in need at this time. Once again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But now let's take a look at the thoughts of Michael Burry. Here's an article that came out today that says, Big Short investor Michael Burry says prepare for inflation, and he warns Bitcoin and gold might be at risk too. And it says Michael Burry expects the reopening and more stimulus to fuel inflation. He's from The Big Short, and he's saying the government is going to squash Bitcoin and gold to protect the dollar. And it says he's highlighting Germany's hyperinflation of the 1920s as a cautionary tale to the US. The article says Michael Burry expects the post-pandemic economic recovery and another round of stimulus to drive up prices, and doesn't see Bitcoin or gold as a guaranteed haven for investors. He said prepare for #inflation. He said in a now deleted tweet on Thursday night, reopening and stimulus on the way. Pre-pandemic, it took $3 of debt to create $1 of GDP, and it's worse now. In an inflationary crisis, government will move to squash competitors in the currency arena. #BTC, #gold. Now, Michael Burry shot to fame with his $1 billion bet against the housing bubble that was chronicled in that movie, The Big Short. short. And he also has played a role in the GameStop stock skyrocket, and he actually invested back in 2019. So he has a pretty proven track record for his understanding and his anticipation of what's going to happen with the stock market. And now he's cautioning investors. Inflation is on the way. So let me know your thoughts. He's also saying Bitcoin and gold, that's not a safe place to put your money. He said he thinks the government could intervene and they could manipulate the markets, and he's giving us his cautionary warning, but the tweet was deleted Thursday as well. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think about this? I just wanted to share this with you. Two very opposing opinions. One saying roll out the stimulus, the other one saying you need to stop because it's going to hurt us down the road. Now, speaking of investing, I'm going to be releasing more videos here on the channel, a series of investing videos. So that way, just helping people get started if they want to change their financial situation once things get back on track here. And also too, I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date on more information regarding the stimulus package, the stimulus checks as things roll out. So I'll keep you up to date. And once again, if you made it this far and you haven't already, take a second to smash the like button. I would appreciate it. Helps out the channel. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already part of the viewing community. Hit the notification bell so that way you get notified right away, and follow me on Instagram as well at SteveRam3. Well, you guys, I hope this reaches you well. I'll be sure to keep you up to date. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.